Okay, so tell us our story about Uncle
Okay.
Paul.
He worked for the Forest Service, and he was a writer for the Mill Creek watershed. His job was to, keep people out, since that's the water source for Walla Walla. And he got interested because he started seeing tracks, and he would see flashes, peeking around trees, and he got to be friends with Bill Lowry. I remembered his name. How about that? Bill was the game warden up here, and he traveled this whole country, and he had stories that you wouldn't believe, um, of encounters. And Wes Summerlin, who's quite well known in Sasquatch research in this area, and they started, explaining to him what he was seeing, and he got interested in it. And he would come up here and he'd come around these springs, and he'd find tracks, and he'd track them.
Springs
He
right
had
over
nothing else
there.
to do. I mean, what do you do when you got an 80,000 acre watershed to protect and nobody's there? So he'd just follow the tracks, and he'd just studying them. And he made, fake feet to walk beside the regular tracks to see what kind of tracks he left as compared to theirs. I've done the same thing myself. And then in 1994, this just up the hill here, back up in here, he found tracks, and he was coming back every day, and he'd get in here about between 5 and 6 in the morning, just at daylight, and try to set up and see if he could see him. Well, one particular day, his daughter's car was broken down, and so he stayed late at home to fix it before he came up here. Got here, he said, about 10 o'clock, and pulled in, and he found the tracks, and turned out the whole family of them walking up and down the hill from the spring. And he was following them back up the hill when she walked out in front of him. And he figured there were three together. There was a youth, a very young juvenile, and a young adolescent, and her. And M.K. Davis, as as much as I like the guy, does excellent work on film, and film stabilization and such. And he just completed the stabilization of Paul's footage. It's absolutely outstanding. Absolutely, it just shows it as fact that it can't be anything else. But after Paul got this film, the first thing he did, he thought in his own mind, I have got the solution. I mean, this is the proof. This is what people are waiting for. Paul was not he was not a rocket scientist, and but he took people at their face value, and I don't think he had a person on earth that disliked him, and I don't think he disliked anybody until after what they did to him. But he took it down to KVU News in Kennewick, the ABC affiliate, and they ran it on the evening news. And that's where I saw it. And I called, and the news director, Tom Spencer, we went to church together. We weren't in the same ward, but in the same, in the same state. And I got a hold of him and told him I'd like to meet this guy. I'd like to talk to him. Tom said, well, I can't give you his number. I said, can you give him my number? Oh, I can do that. And he did. And the next day, Paul called, and we made a date and met at Denny's there in Walla Walla, and came out. And I came out many times after that. I never met Wes Sutherland, but I did meet Bill Lowry and everybody else out here who was involved in it, and came up here with Paul a few times, and he showed me where everything was and how it went down. But when ABC News got a hold of it, and they wanted to do a segment on Good Morning America, and so on the interview, they, have you ever made fake feet, made fake prints? Oh yes, I used to do it in research. He said I would make a set of prints and walk beside the other ones and compare them. He said, just to see what I could do versus what they did. when the interview played on the air, they asked him, "Have you ever made fake feet?" "Oh yes, I have." And that was it. Period. And just made a terrible, huge joke out of it. It was all a great bit, the monster of the Northwest, and these are the type of people that find them, you know, and it was terrible. To this day, I will not watch Good Morning America. I never have. And that's been since 22 years. And yeah, that's Paul Freeman. He died of complications from diabetes in 2003. And he just, even when he lost his job over it, and he just never understood why people didn't understand what he'd done. Mm-hmm. Yes, Miss Nelson.
I was wondering how many sightings did he have? Do you know?
He had several.
Other than that.
Yeah, that's the only one he ever got on film. I mean, good on film.
Were they always up here?
Somewhere within the watershed.
Within the watershed.
Yeah. Now the road we were on when we came up 64 Road the other day, that's the other side of the watershed.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and this, of course, this 65 Road limits us. But basically, it's this whole basin, Mill Creek Basin.
How many years of research did he do you think?
Oh, he'd been doing it since the early 80s, late 70s.
Really?
Yeah. And that was his first good film. And he just had a little, what do you call it, high 8?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
8mm camera. You know, that's
Great high 8.
yeah.
Were his other sightings full-bodied like this
He
one?
had some full body sightings, but most of them were just glimpses.
Do you think that they kind of get used to him after a while, or they kind of know him, or?
Yeah, he was there all every day, so yeah, they knew where he was every day. That's the spring right there. It wasn't developed like this last time I was here.
And there's the pond we're referring to. Okay,
looking at
we are
this.
at the Freeman location of the Freeman footage. And Sandy's found something here in this soft dirt.
Well, possible. So I'm thinking this might be a little heel. It comes up through here. This is raised right here. And then this looks like a toe.
And that's
Toe.
definitely heel back, underneath
Looks
the
like
pipe
heel
bone.
back there.
Does the pipe bone look like it's been
Interesting.
So it doesn't show any claw marks. So
No,
and it's not wide enough to be a bear.
And you know, this here actually looks like it slid down from here. See where this is broken off right there? This dirt appears to have collapsed into the track from there. Thank you, Sandy.
It's worth a look.
Huh.
Gosh, look at these trees.
I think I got an orb or something.
And then I thought we could leave some apples.
Yeah, this is a great spot for the apples. Okay, so yeah, we were back there sitting, finishing our lunch. Sandy came, found this, hollered for us.
And then there was a huge crash over there. And so I just said, it's just us. It's just Sandy. It's okay. You know, we're just visiting.
Wow.
But it was a big crash.
Wow, very cool.
But I didn't see anything else move. But as I was coming up here and I was saying, it's me, it's Sandy. We're just here visiting. And, if you're here, I started doing my whistles. And I said, if you're here, just, it'd be nice if you let me know you were here. Whether it's a whistle or a greeting grunt or that sweet smell.
Oh,
And then
mama smell.
Then when I went over there and saw that and then called for Larry and he said, what? And then I said, bring Barb. And then the loud crash back there. So it could be coincidence, but
Could be,
I
but
did ask a
considering
sign.
where we are and what we're doing,
And I asked for it.
and when, we've been doing this for long enough to know that there really aren't a lot of coincidences.
Yeah,
It's possible there was an elk over there.
it's possible.
It's possible that a limb just happened to fall
A
on
big
the breeze.
squirrel could be there.
Big squirrels, yes, that's right. I love the big squirrel theory. Cool.
And this is the Washington Sasquatch. Washington. All right.
All right on.
That's fun.